Hey guys. Hey guys, what's up? What's up? Happy Wednesday. Listen, because this is how the Gemini energy hits, right? Happy Gemini season, you guys. Today is Wednesday, June the 12th. We've come out from our new moon. We had the stellium, remember? I was like, you know what? I'm going to be traveling next week. Excuse me. With family and friends and whatnot. And I don't know what availability I will have. And I was like, what? We're going to be building up to the full moon next week. We're going to see how it goes. But anyway, I was like, I'm going to do a video every day just to, that way my tribe, my gang, my family, my friends, right? My spirit family, they have plenty of, comfort. We're going to be transitioning, moving closer and closer to Cancer season. I don't want them to be out in their feelings alone, right? For a whole week. I don't sit here and talk about, I'm about to make a video every single day. The universe, you know how we say, the universe said, child. And as I call it, it was an event weekend. If I have sales events or things going on. Hey, you guys. I want to show you some resin creations. Yes, I do resin crafts and creations, as well as my candles and other ritual tools and such. My water alchemy tools and my smudging mist, all the things, right? I also do resin, that's new to me this year. So your friend is growing and learning. I don't know. Do you know an Aquarius? You know how we'll be like, and you can shout out if you have an Aquarian friend. We just decide I can do something and we'll just like pick it up and do it. And to give us credit, like half the time it's not that bad. But sometimes we're just like these wily, creative, weird scientists in the lab, and we're like, I'm going to watercolor this year. And we just do, It's really cool though. You know what? Working with resin craft, and hey, somebody said, you said Jupiter was in Gemini, right? So if we have new creative abilities or whatever it is, new skill sets, or even teaching, learning, teaching in many different ways, right? Yeah, so I'm super excited. The resin is beautiful. I did post, I had, I think it was 2 things that were left over from this weekend's event. Thank you so much. Gratitude, thankfulness to the universe that I always have exactly what I need when I need it. And that it was a very abundant, wonderful event. It did great. Are they close by? I was going to show you my hold on, guys. I think it's these 2. I don't have the ring light turned on, you guys. Will it throw me off if I try to... Y'all, where's the button at? I don't know. If you have any interest whatsoever, just please know I'm totally just sharing. I love them to pieces, but if someone else loves them, I feel like resin craft, it don't hit how it needs to hit if you're not seeing it in the light, or if you have a good... where is my button? Hold on, guys. Listen, if it speaks to you, please look at the pictures too. If you're like, ooh, yes. Listen, honestly, I'm just being like, hey, look what I made, Yeah, so I just wanted to share. If you like it though, and you want to make it yours, feel free to look at the post. This was like the very first one where I experimented with pressed flowers. And she is very special to me. I would like to kind of expand and do, I don't know I think it's a paint, or some people will actually do gold flaking, and like epoxy or like resin or like paint the edges once it's done. I aspire, right? And I also want to get like Dremel tools or whatever, if you call them, so that I can start suspending, so you can hang them and stuff. But for now, I think they make really beautiful altar pieces, to be honest with you. And we could talk about lots of different archetypes that each embody, but I love them. So if you love them, feel free to, support your Aquarius friend. Feel free to send me an email. I'll put my email in the post. No, you guys, I know I've had multiple people ask me, are you ever going to reopen a shop? It hasn't happened yet because true to Gemini season, I'm going to be traveling. I have this trip planned for a little while now. So I'm looking forward to that. I need it. I'm so excited to be close to my grandmother Oshun right as we get ready to transition into Cancer season. Yeah, so love that for me, right? Now I'm also thinking about how I try a lot of times, unless spirit, my guides, my higher self, my intuition, for the highest and best good. Always, we got to set the intentions over here. But I clean up my altar, right? Because most days, unless it's just unless it's just crazy, okay? Or I need a break here and there. I'll do like my own early morning. What? Y'all, it's tired. It's been a tiring week, but in the best way. I do my own early morning work, which often involves, if not always, I'm a tarot girl at heart. I do love oracle cards. I love all the things. I'm very visual. I'm a very big advocate for earthing and grounding and being nature, if you can, every single day. Barefoot, at least 5 minutes, if not more. But, I would say, like in my practice, I love visual things, because spirit speaks to me in a lot of synchronicity and connections and color and visual things. So I love all the cards, right? And sometimes, my intuition will be like, keep this card out. So it's funny, we're just talking about the ocean. This is Altar of Water. You guys know I love that. What's that one? I've been obsessed with the two lately. Secrets of the Ancestors is right here in my drawer. I love this deck. This is equated to like the Ace of Cups and Oshun. It's very beautiful, but it has me thinking about like Saturn and Pisces. I wasn't going to get into this today. But now I'm thinking, I was like, I just want to start off by shuffling cards, but I was thinking of Altar of Water, and I guess Spirit is wanting us to set the tone. Saturn is getting ready to go retrograde, and we've been working with Saturn and the Saturn and Pisces energy. Mercury will be Kazemi this week. We'll talk about that more on Friday. But it's this interesting dance this week of like air and water, which immediately, in my astrology mind, I think about emotional maturity, which Ace of Cups can be very appropriate for. Ace of Cups, people have a tendency to project outward and think about, oh, it means I'm going to fall in love. And hey, listen, if that's something that you have chosen to magnetize to you, if that's something you're experiencing, if that's a blessing in your your experience right now, I love that for you. But I'm saying what we want to try to do ideally is make the cards about us. And that way, Spirit, hold on. Spirit. Lord. It's too many cards. Hold on, you guys. Ooh, the Strength card is in the clump though. No, but we're not gonna. That was a bad shuffle on my part, to be honest with you. Yeah, so just thinking about that makes me think of Saturn and Pisces. How by the end of June, which will come upon us quickly. Before we know it, we'll be past the summer solstice. We'll be the end of June, heading into July, right? And so it does make me think about emotional maturity. It does make me think about the influx of all the Gemini energy, all the airy energy. Thank goodness we talked about Mars shifting into Taurus. But, yeah, Saturn and Pisces. And I remember now I'm thinking, I was sitting with this card this morning, and you guys, I'm talking about, Altar of Water, love overflowing. If you relate this Secret of the Ancestors card, this would be comparative to the Ace of Cups. Let's set her, Mama Oshun, right? She's all about the water libation, right? Okay. Dang, now I want to tell you about a synchronicity in my life, but you know what? I don't care. Spirit said share it. I don't even care. Reading into experimenting with a card flipped over, you guys. Hold on. Look at this. That's if this has ever come out before, this is the it's unique to this beautiful deck. Someone asked me what deck this was, and I need to look it up for you. I got it from a Kickstarter. It's very, very special, but it's like a different, wow, that's the second time I've seen the Nine of Wands. Dang, well, it didn't fall out, but I've seen it. It spilled onto the floor. Nine of Wands is about, okay, it's about being resilient. Why am I hearing, we'll leave the light on for you? You know what I'm talking about, y'all? But you know what? It's like my cup overflows vibe, or like okay, Spirit is saying if your cup was full of light, your cup of light overflows is what these coming together feels like. But dude, does that not make sense though? Literally, I was piecing my way back to preparing for the Saturn retrograde at the end of June. And how I think Molly McCord, you guys know I love her to pieces. Okay, we're going to manifest together that I'm going to get to go to a convention and meet her. And then she sometimes hosts these really cool like cruises and trips. Molly McCord's amazing. Random because we're in Gemini season, right? I feel like I heard someone say, who else do you like? Who else did you study with? The Pele Report. Check him out. I took a lot of classes through his website. This was years back. Guys, who else? Pam Gregory is freaking brilliant. My style of astrology is much more like intimate, self-healing, shadow trauma wounds, helping the inner child, stuff like this. That's the same things that I struggle with. So that is how But look, Pam Gregory is like if a historian was fully and well-rooted, like if child, I ain't even going to say no major news names, not on this vibrational channel, we not. But imagine if the purity of spirit gave like this is your current update this evening with, like, that's Pam Gregory's vibe. She's great, and it's wonderful to see her amazing lens. Astrology, she takes you back to a lot of things historically. It's really cool. I love Pam Gregory. Oh, there's someone else that I just started learning from last year. I'll have to, if you can feel free to comment, or maybe I'll just make a little post about astrologers that I love, who I've learned a lot, from over a decade, especially I would say over like the last four years. All right. That's funny. Another nine, I told you I kept seeing the Nine of Wands, but what actually came out of, that's interesting. It's almost like Spirit is saying, don't stay in that wounded warrior mode. We want to be in the 9 energy, which is resting, reflecting, but in a way that is wiser than, let's say, like the 4 or the 6, right? The 4 is way more foundational. The 6 is way more like it's my first victory. Put me on the stage. Okay. But the 9s are more like, this ain't our first rodeo. We done about reached the legacy level with the 10 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles is a lot of wisdom. But let me, hone it back in. Yeah. So yeah, let me go back to Molly McCord was giving a teaching about, and I love the way that she explains some people say deacons, some people say decans, but she explains like the quarters broken up through a sign, right? So when we look at a big planet, you can do it with any planet, but with a slower move. Saturn's not the slowest moving, but it's slower, right? Than, let's say, like Mercury, Venus, or Mars. So with Saturn, you can look at a retrograde and it's going to span for months, right? What will happen is you'll say, what sign is Saturn in, right? Saturn is in Pisces. And then we'll just kind of look at like the different decans that Saturn is going to retrograde through within that element. So anyway, that's a lot of astrological speak. If you're very curious about kind of knowing, shout out to like, my detail-oriented signs. Or if you're an air sign and you're just like, I want to know everything. Look, or you're a Gemini. Listen, I have a lot of Gemini friends. I'm not going to lie. I do love a Gemini. It ain't never going to be a boring conversation with them. But the whole point is that we're preparing to, Spirit wants me to say it as in alchemize, because Spirit is really correcting me. My ancestors and guides are correcting me and saying it's not a victimhood. Because those roles have already been played. Spirit is trying to show me something about being in a state of loving gratitude and really reflecting upon, right? Nine of Pentacles, the lamplight from this tarot deck, and Oshun, pouring out a libation to your experiences, to your ups and downs, to your, what was a quote that I read yesterday? Spirit is bringing back to me. We are all like the ocean, and something to the effect of, to be productive and do what it needs to do. The ocean has waves, and then it was breaking it down into this whole, the structure of a wave will always have ups and downs, and we need both, right? So this is very interesting. It's like a... with the Nine of Pentacles and Oshun and, Ace of Cups energy, it's almost like pour out a libation, do a ritual, practice a meditation of gratitude, go out into nature and contemplate your thankfulness for, just really everything you've been through, if you want to say it in a straight out way that's not overly spiritual. But what is really beautiful, I think, is that being in this year of the 8, we've talked about this before, and we will definitely come back to the strength card Leo aspect. A lot of things that I want to hit on when we get more into like July, because we kind of have to go through. Spirit is showing me, like, my intuition, my higher self, my gang. They're showing me as like, in June, we have things to go through. I'm sorry, let me not say June. In Cancer season, we're going to complete Gemini season. And then in Cancer season, it's like, in, Cancer, whose ruler is the moon, that's kind of the ancestral karma. That's the family. That's the, Spirit is saying the energetic, whoa, okay, hold on. Sorry, Spirit, slow it down. Like, that's a lot. Spirit was trying to show me that in your mother's womb, the programming that you received, which you've been working on over the years to, I don't know, I'm hearing declutter. And then also reprogram yourself, maybe, you know what I'm saying? We could really do a whole sidebar about like shadow trauma root work, right? So that you can alchemize and then come to a place where you can, in Gemini season, we've been talking a lot about the whole image of the magician, Nikola Tesla, that whole imagery of, and the Tower card, but also the Magician card, and I don't know, plugging into to initiate some sort of new process in the mental body, in the crown chakra, definitely also in the pineal, the third eye, all this whole area. Remember, I was telling you in the last video, research how your upper and lower crown chakra is different. This has to do with divine, masculine, feminine, spiritual balance, but also left brain, right brain, all these things. That's what we were talking about, right? Okay, track with me. It's almost like Spirit wanted to fill our cups up with so much light. Spirit is showing me an image of you having a 1,000-petaled lotus over your head. Maybe you have a different imagery for your crown chakra area up there. But Spirit has been filling. Right? And it's kind of like Cancer season. At the same time, in a scorpionic year, we've been talking about this. Also, Saturn, Lord of Karma and Time, scorpionic year. Remember, the underbelly of the number 8 is the 8th house. Okay. It's okay. Spirit is showing me is like, whoa, what? I'm sorry. So Spirit is, here we go with the images, you guys. And I feel like if you can even get pieces of this, it's an activation point from Spirit and you're intended to hear this. Even if you pick up It's kind of like Sabian symbols. Even if you can grasp a piece of the image, I feel like it's an activation point for you, and it's going to take you where you need to go with it, right? Because we always set intentions over here to heal, to reparent ourselves, to recognize, to remember for the highest and best good of ourselves, for the highest and best good of the collective, and our soul tribe, our soul family, however we define the family that we're in this 3D, all the things, right? Abundance, prosperity, health, wealth, all the things. These are the intentions we hold over here. Okay. I feel a great need to like extra hold space for intentionality in some of these readings, even in one-on-one work lately. But Gemini season, with that amplification of Jupiter and Gemini, again, it can be a lot of projection energy from other, mental bodies of other people, right? And we'll leave it there. If you feel like you need more or whatever the case, I'm always available to work one-on-one. We'll leave it there. So it's like as if, okay, Spirit is showing me this. It's like this whole, time being sped up, but we don't understand what quote unquote time really feels like. We only know how we experience it in this dimension, but it's almost like, how would you articulate that? A vacuum, maybe, but the vacuum is not with air, it's with light, and it's like a black hole void. Why am I hearing black hole sun? Won't you come wash away the rain? Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Oh, black holes. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, ooh, I do love me some Night. Don't get me started. I got lyrics tattooed on me. Listen. It's like the light was in the vacuum, and it's this whole... It's like this moment where it's like you come full... You come full round. Spirit keeps bringing us back this whole, the ring pass not. And this whole idea of Saturn and Saturn's rings and the bounds of karma and time and, what I'm talking about? Like, we've talked about the archetype of Saturn and, Big Daddy, or Zeus or whatever. But it's really interesting to really dig in and grasp for a minute what's happening here. It's like this huge, to say that it's a big level of karmic completion is, I don't know, it's like it's not sufficient. And it's like we did a bigger amplification of this ancestral karma, exploring the mother, possibly even father wounds, digging down into the inner child, at reparenting the self, reprogramming, especially in the emotional body. I feel like that was big last year because Cancer was kind of this ruling energy in the year of 7. That's your Chariot card. That's your Cancer. You know what I mean? So fast forward to this year. Spirit is also reminding me with this element of water that I was supposed to leave on the table, that don't miss it. Put a pin, I'm going to tell you, put a pin note in this and come back to it. Let me get a sip. Dang, y'all, I'm sorry. It's just a lot of Gemini. It's waning, though. It is waning. You're right. And we do want to take advantage of it. I myself, I know I struggle, but I've really been trying to take a lot of notes, because sometimes things right now that are just constantly coming through your crown chakra, your third eye, and your mental body. I mean, ain't no way. Like, we're divine sovereign beings in a human body. We can't remember everything, but some of these things is what, once again, Jupiter will help us expound upon as the year carries on, right? So it's like, just because everything's in my brain at one time right now, cool. If it feels really niggling and important, you know what I mean? Consult if you need to with your higher self. Some stuff you're going to know, like, ain't nobody need to write that down. Yeah. But listen, write things down. Pay attention to messages, spirit guides, messages, dreams. A lamp in the dark also makes me think about your dream space. the watery realms of Oshun, in the ocean, the intuitive body out beyond the veil. Also, what I was going to say is don't miss everything that's happening this year is leading us up to Neptune about to go into Aries. If I'm not mistaken, that's next year, right? I don't have it in front of me, but that's so big. We're not going to spiral off into that right now, but the importance is, it's kind of like and now I'm seeing that gold. It makes me think of like in alchemy, the Philosopher's Stone, or everything. They're trying to make gold all the time. You're trying to make gold. The elixir. It makes me think of the elixir, right? The fount of eternal life or something like this is what I'm hearing. It's kind of like juicing the marrow out of this time in this year right now, and Saturn is helping us with that level of karmic completion. But it is, listen, Mars, that whole, like I was telling y'all about Mars, that, I think the cards are done talking from that deck, to be honest. Mars going into Taurus, it is helping us. It's like I said, put a stake and hammer the kite down so the kite's not like, you don't want to blow off too far, in Gemini season, and then not be able to kind of like reground yourself. I'm not gonna lie, and you can comment if you feel the same. Of course, you never have to comment. I want you guys to feel like if you want to, you can. But it's very much like I have had these moments. Definitely, what is this? Only the 12th of June, and we have 10 more days of Gemini season, right? And then once again, it's kind of like we'll sit down, we'll consult with everything that we've been given. Spirit keeps repetitively showing me this image, and it even goes back to a dream of like our spirit guides, our ancestors, our team, your higher self, whatever archetype and visual, whatever you associate with best to articulate that. Yeah, it's like eyes being held open, like nope. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a meme too, and it's like this spirit guide is behind a person prying their eyeballs open. Do you know what I'm talking about? If you've seen it, you would know. But it's like in the most loving of ways. Now it makes me think of, and I've made a reference to this before, if it wasn't this year, it was last year. This whole idea of that movie Minority Report, where he has that big screen, you know what I'm talking about? And he can swipe around and he can... You could even maybe say, I don't know if Neo is applicable, because that's more like looking at the code. But the same concept, they specifically show me Minority Report. You know what I'm saying? It's like Saturn has been taking us through this journey in Pisces. And this retrograde, I don't know, I'm hearing will take us back home. But I think it is the word I'm hearing is humbling. So, anyway, we'll hit on that probably like the last week of June when we get ready to prepare for this retrograde, because I think it's hugely important. Because what's going to happen again is when Neptune gets ready to shift in Aries, the Fool will re-enter his journey. Dude, I'm hearing burp, burp, what is that? Ain't no brag. What does he say? Something. Papa's got a brand new bag. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not going to try to sing that right now. Papa's got a brand new bag. Okay. It's like a Mary Poppins bag. And these are spiritual gifts. These are nuggets of, Spirit is saying, many, many Philosopher's Stones in the Fool's bag. Okay, the Fool has been on a journey in Neptune, right? Remember I told you we go past the ring, past not. When we get beyond Saturn, and we have. Do you remember when we were talking about, or months ago, this was something to the effect of like, we're going to get in our spaceships and fly out beyond the veil? Or was that in the fall? Anyway, not important. Listen. Spirit is showing me like the Fool has been on a journey. And when you go out beyond the veil, Neptune is symbolic of the the cosmic, the oneness of all source, the interconnectedness, Father God, Mother Goddess, Divine Source, Great Spirit energy that connects through all things, right? The trifold flame, the triple, anyway, we could go on. When you go out beyond the veil and you are sitting with source and you're in Neptune energy, you're in the higher heart. That's also very Piscean territory, right? And we Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. All right, so I'm just saying, don't miss that. The Fool has been on a journey in his heart chakra, in his emotional body. And we've talked about this a lot last year, but all of that stuff starts in the programming of the womb space. And it goes back to like, this is how Spirit was kind of showing me this blast of like a vacuum of light, but it's like a flood. And they're showing me again that image of having your eyes held open. You have to witness it all. I'm hearing you have to witness it all. The more that we can witness, the more that we can hold it. I'm hearing it's like, hold it, right? And maybe this is a moment and it's like a movie and she goes to sit down in her garden. In some version of this card, she has like a glass of wine. Her ancestor, her spirit guide friend is like, I'm going to take you on a journey before you really rebirth this legacy, right? Ten of Pentacles is big. Not money legacy, child. I'm talking about rebirthing the entire generational line of genetic womb DNA imprint. Child, like, get with me. This is not about money. Money comes after. Abundance, wealth, health, prosperity, having everything that we need exactly when we need it in the way that our ancestors, our guides, our higher self deemed that is best for us at that time, right? This is a level we're talking about. This is a level of, I'm going to prepare you guys to rebirth such an awakening that your children won't be born with any karma. What? Yes, there are teachings on that. If that resonates with you, dig into that. Open your little trail of breadcrumbs. But it's like the Fool had to go through the journey of his heart first. And sometimes the journey of a heart involves, what am I hearing? Take another little piece of my heart now. What is it? I know you got it if it makes you feel good. Is that what? I can't remember all the words. Take it. That's what I heard. Take another little bit. Yeah, this is like the journey. The Fool's like, how many, you want another piece of my heart? Saturn's like, I got to collect. But it's almost like the Fool didn't know throughout this whole journey through Neptune, he was the end destination was going to be the evolution of his heart. Y'all already know Leo rules the heart. Y'all already know. I'm about to tell y'all about the Stargate in your heart chakra. It's all connected. That's so Aquarius of me. But look, because once your Stargate becomes a free and clear portal, that's when you really, it's like, that's when you shift it into gear. And it's a whole different level after that, right? And we're already, our frequency's already slowly but surely ascension, evolution, increase in vibration. All right. But I don't know, this whole energy of like, she lays down to have a dream in the garden, right? Now get with me. How do I articulate this, Spirit Lord? She lays down to have a dream in the garden. Okay, Pentacles are slow moving on time frame. It's been a lot of King of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles on my table lately for myself and for others. It just reiterates that the level of seeds that are being planted. I'm hearing seed points. Remember we were saying activation, like sleeper cell, like mode activated. Okay, it's been dormant for so long. It's like this with all of these Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. If anybody would be a sleeper cell, it would be him. Yeah, he done been, working the same field out here with his head down, happily, contentedly. I am blessed and content. It is a beautiful day. The whole time, like he's a whole Navy SEAL. He's a whole whatever, he's a whole, I don't know, y'all. Like I heard op for the light. Okay, he's a whole secret op. for like the light the whole time. Like, it's like if Archangel Michael, okay, Knight of Pentacles and King of Pentacles, like Archangel Michael was a farmhand and nobody knew he was an archangel, right? And then when it's time for his seed point to be activated, it's like, remember how I kept hearing, you are coming online, right? And then he drops his shovel and it's like, okay, it's something like this. Okay, so bringing it back to this card, it's almost like she laid down to have a dream. And this was what? I'm sorry. Spirit goes so fast, especially in Gemini season. She lays down to have a dream. And the dream is her walking through the entirety of this Neptune and Pisces. And then when Neptune is shifting into Aries, it's as if she... What? Y'all, I'm going to have to write this in my own damn journal, okay? It's like she wakes up. And this makes sense, you guys, too, with the North and South Node at the Aries axis and the Libra South Node axis. And Chiron and Aries as well. It's like the Fool has got to get it. He's got to get it. He has to understand that if he only picked one of the most massive chakras to clean and clear, and then it would set everything else to awaken like a wildfire, right? Very Aries energy. It would be his heart chakra. You know what I'm saying? Because the heart chakra, now I'm seeing an irrigation system. The heart chakra connects everything together. And that's where you drive with your keys, your Merkaba, your Stargate. All right? All right, listen. So it's like when she's ready, she will wake up having alchemized everything she had to see, to endure, to experience, to bear witness to. You know how they say you got to feel it to heal it? If you are not bearing witness to it, it will covertly control you forever. And then Spirit is kind of saying it like this. Then you will always be asleep. You will not be able to wake yourself back up. What? And it's like Spirit is what? Spirit, come on. And it's like your guides keep hanging the lantern out for you. It's, you know how people say they program themselves, like people who are gifted to astral travel or lucid dream. It's also a psychology thing. They'll teach you this. Like if you have night terrors or something. Anyway, whole sidebar. You program yourself to be able to wake up from a dream. It's something like this. The solar, okay, now Spirit is saying something to the effect of the resets are the programs, the seed points that we're going to activate you to wake up from the dream. I'm just live channeling. Do you know what I mean? So I'm here with you too. Listen, sometimes I write things down in my journal afterwards and be like, what, Spirit? That was crazy. Right? What? I would encourage you, if you are curious, to dig in. And I'm always here to help. Please email me if you would like to book a reading. I have my own reasons. You're welcome to go to my website and read more about it as to why you need to email me in order to book a reading for me. Okay. Wow. That is just crazy. I'm just really sitting here trying to digest this whole imagery. And it's kind of like we have to see things and go through them and alchemize them, because this all is transmuted and contributes back to the collective. It's like when you heal, we all heal. You know what I'm saying? When a woman heals, she heals her mother and her grandmother. It's this thing. But it's almost like you incarnated because you knew you were going to be here at this time. It's like you signed up, put me in, coach, I'll go again. Wow. Very, very interesting. And the altar of water is almost like, it gives me this energy of like, you were always going to be woken up. I don't know. It makes me think of, you remember the old prank used to be, you try to get someone in their sleep by putting water on their hand. But anyway, or I'm going to throw water on you to wake you up. Ha ha ha. But it makes me think of like the Ace of Cups is like you were never, that would be like Neo being in the chair. And you know how, shit, I'm sorry. He never knew that he wasn't awake yet. Okay. But it was like spirit, which is you. You are one with divine source. You're a divine sovereign being. You know, your galactic ancestors are you. Your ancestors, it's all you. It's always with you. You know what I'm saying? It always has been. It was just a matter of when you were... Okay, let me just clarify. For certain beings, it is this way. And I will leave that for now. Somebody made a comment like you should only do your teachings on like a Patreon or something, only because they're just not meant for everybody. Not because I want to like, oh, you guys better pay me. Ain't even about that. Listen, I'm already abundant through the universe, but that would be a good teaching video. But it's not important to dwell on right now, because if you're here, you're supposed to be here. You know what I mean? So, wow. I just, really set the intention to just pull some cards, and that was just okay. Okay, boom. Out comes the Chariot. Yes, I feel like this is just a confirmation of the work that you've done. If you understand the Chariot card, well, this is also, I think, confirmation that Cancer season is going to be, I heard, quite a ride. But no, I think it's just because we are releasing, we are processing. It's like the womb completion. I'm sorry, I'm hearing the womb clearing comes to completion. Now, womb is not necessarily speaking in masculine and feminine. It's not, we're talking metaphorically about like divine feminine energy in the womb space being a creative, fertile space, right? Could also be related to your area, kind of root, kind of sacral chakra in that area. So you can take that as you will in your own journey. I really feel that, listen, on a real, let's bring it back down to a real, let's say, third dimensional level. If you need to take a trip and just get away for a little bit, like, we're processing a lot. It's something about kind of like, hello, obviously, if you can be near water, that's amazing. Maybe for you, that looks like this weekend, I really can't get away. It's a crazy summer, whatever. Even if you can set the intention to maybe just have a weekend to yourself. We'll see if Spirit wants to clarify this charity. What? This Chariot card. But, so interesting. Yeah, I would say rest if you can do like a vacation of sorts, a mini vacay, a staycay. Also, libation or water ritual. Libation basically means you work with the water as an offering in your own way and you give it back to the land. Y'all know I'm talking about. Pour one out for my homies. Okay, listen, just get with me, a libation. Maybe you're tailoring a libation specifically to what your ancestors enjoyed. For example, maybe you got like some whiskey and some tobacco. And then you say a thank you over it and pour it out. You know what I mean? Or something that I've done before is you take you a good old mason jar, make you some tea for your ancestors, sweet if you like it. Don't come down here if it ain't sweet. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't even really do sugar like that no more, but don't play with me on tea. I don't even drink. Okay, I'm not talking about like hot tea. I'm talking about a certain kind of tea. Y'all know. Y'all from the South, y'all already know. And I'm stubborn. You can't tell me somebody doing it better than North South Carolina. You ain't gonna tell me that. All right. What else? Yeah, like sun tea, water safe gemstones. You shake it up, you work with it. You could do a honey jar, which is really good one to do. Bath ritual also be great if you set the intentions while you're in the bath water. That's very alchemical. It charges the bath water. It returns to the earth through the piping systems, ultimately back through the streams. It carries your intention with it. Somebody's like, well, it gets cleansed. Yeah, it does. But I'm talking about on a molecular level of how you have alchemized with your intentions the water. So that's great. Obviously, if you have a creek bed in your neighborhood, if you have a stream, if you guys, please educate yourself. Be mindful on where you put your bare feet in water. I'm going to need y'all to know I'm an environmental scientist at heart and I'm nerdy. Don't be putting your feet just in any old water. Oh my Lord. But listen, I'm talking about just pouring the water out as a libation. And while you're working with the jar of water or whatever you've charged, again, some people do it with like milk and honey as well. That's a very common one, especially in this season for the Fae, for like goddess deities like Artemis and Diana, or Venus, you know, this whole thing. To me, that's more like July, but that's just how I see it. Oh, yeah. So libations, offerings, just as a thankfulness for kind of everything that we've been protected and guided through up to this point, for finding our way back, Spirit said, because our ancestors had a huge role to play in that. Just know, again, confirmation, Oshun, you know, archetype energy here. And then sometimes it can just be simple. You know what I mean? You got some basil and rosemary in your kitchen. You got a little salt. You got a container of water. You sit, speak your intentions, your gratitude, your thankfulness, all the things into the water and go pour it out. You set your intention. Your intention is the strongest thing. But I'm just hearing libations, you know, and they're important. I know that some people we will say their moon time, they will give offerings around that time from their own body, we shall say. That is a wonderful way to recommune with the earth and give literally a piece of yourself. But wow, listen, let me reel it back in and wrap it up. Okay. What a big message that I was not even setting intention for, but it makes sense considering what Mercury is getting ready to do. But we'll talk more about that on Friday. Yeah, so I was saying, I don't know if the deck will clarify the Chariot. Yeah, so again, I think the remainder of Gemini season, here's what's funny. A lot of times in the thick of it, right in the thick of it, we want to do all the things because the energy is entering, or it's I'm hearing ignited. But a lot of times, again, this will unfurl over time. So I think that it is important to rest. If you can travel, if you can do a little getaway, it's kind of like recentering your creative energy. Again, writing down ideas, creative ideas, confirmation before you take action on them. But I think the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands is definitely a confirmation that, yes, we will have a lot. This is like Mercury Kazemi coming into the reading, because I think by the end of the week, we are going to feel like super inspired, but we do need to kind of nail it down. Mars and Taurus energy will help us do that. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to leave it here, you guys. Wow, it was very interesting to channel that. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Hello. Please enjoy the rest of your day, okay? Let me know if you're curious about any of the resin creations, and I look forward to checking back with you soon. All right, take good care, guys. Bye.